one starts, you know, like if you're out of, yes, like the last time I took one was about 6 years ago at UAB, and it was actually a painting studio class. And we had like humongous steel easels in there. And just to get us going, some of the students set up a still life, and that's what's in the middle of the room, is a humongous still life. You're not going to draw everything on it, but you're going to draw some things on it. Just flip them up here. Everybody got some? Yeah, it's going to hold your paper up out of the little trough. Everybody get some? I get it. Be careful with yours, that leg is not following where you pull that. Right. Now let's do this right now. Move your easel. Look, y'all have plenty of room. And usually I have like 23 of them out, and we're jam-packed in here. And third period, I'm going to have like 13 people, so I have enough out for them. But so y'all have plenty of room. So, I mean, I guess you could move it if you want to. But just move it to the side where you can see me. I'm going to use this one just for demonstration, just to help you, you know, look at what you're going to, you may put that in hand way. I'm going to tuck this, you don't necessarily have to sit at it right this minute. Okay. All right, mainly, so one, I want you to be able to see the still life. So Seth, can you see it? Putting in the Coke bottle, okay? You're not going to draw everything on the table, okay? A still life is mainly set up, and I've purposely not put anybody over here. Thank goodness I don't have to have somebody sit over here, because I really don't want you drawing this plant. It just looks good, you know, but you might draw a little bit into it. Now, so I don't want you to freak out what you're looking like. Carmen, you come in, what about the face, you know? Sometimes when you miss class, you just have to take it home and, you know, make it up. Everybody else pretty much finished it or whatever. So, but one, when I got them, I got the easels through a grant from Robert. Let's go from Russellville. It's not our senator, Roger Bedford.
Roger, yeah.
These are over $100 a piece. I can't replace them. So be careful. And I'm glad I didn't have to pull them all out. I've got some that the leg is messed up. Somebody tripped over them. 2 or 3 of them have been put back together. The one that Tyler's got, the leg keeps going crooked on him here. And I'm talking about this back tripod leg. Okay? So, you know, if you jump up real fast, you trip them, like a little girl one time tripped, and like 3 or 4 of them went flying down the, you know, in the floor, and all the legs just breaking off one right after the other. So just be really careful with them, okay? But we're going to draw at them. We're going to use a different kind of paper. The last thing that we're going to draw, some of y'all will be like, hallelujah, we're going to get back to painting or whatever. We'll be doing something else. But so our last thing that we're just using pencils and, you know, pencil rendering, shading, shadowing. And of course, this is back to like when I sat something on a stool, and I'll be happy to help you with it, okay? But you're going to pick 2 or 3 things that you see. Now, I can already see somebody going, ooh, I see 3 books. I'm just going to draw 3 books. Those all count as one thing together. But now if you see like on that side, the books with the candlestick on it, I'm cool with just the book and the candlesticks, okay? The books, you have to be really careful about, you know, getting it, y'all remember drawing the cube? You know, not getting it so up like this, like a V, but getting it really flat, you know, if you need any to help you set it up. We're going to be on bigger paper. I've put a lot of samples on the board of, you know, some of these things aren't out there anymore. Like these plants, I used to have a lot of plants. First time I set it up, I had a lot of fruit. Spent probably $20, $30 on fruit. Do you think you could eat it and I still draw it, though? I had a boy, he got hungry and he ate all my grapes that were in the basket. And I'm like, what'd you do that for? Well, I was hungry. I'm like, well, what are we supposed to do to draw the grapes? You know, or, but what else you find out? Bananas don't last a long time, you know. We started getting little fruit flies, so I quit buying fruit. Pulled out cowboy hats. Some of the stuff's from senior play when I used to do it. So in this is going to be more. And some of y'all aren't going to like it, and some of you might. because you cannot lean all over these things, okay? Like y'all, you know, you're at the table, and you can put your elbows down, and y'all lean all over it. You can't do that on these, okay? They are adjustable, and actually most of the studio classes I was in, there weren't any chairs to sit on. You know, the last one I was there 8 hours a day trying to get stuff done. There were 2 chairs, 12 of us, you know, plenty of easels, but whoever got there first got a chair, right? Whoever got there first got to put the music on, you know, and it was a lot. All right, now, so in that, this is one of them I pulled over here that the legs broke off. Mr. Beeson or Mr. Dunn one has been flipped. It's got another screw. It's got all kinds of stuff that's been worked on, okay? I like the wooden ones better than this big metal one. I bought 2 metal ones thinking, oh, that'd be great because they won't break. But they're also got this weird adjustable leg in the back that all the plastic parts on it won't keep it in place. So if you lean on it, it just falls over in the floor. So don't like that one. I bought 2 more of these about 3 years ago, and they've remade them, how you do it, and it's not good how they've redesigned them. So these are actually better. They're made exactly like they used to be made, except for the metal parts and the little plastic, these little knobs. But so look, y'all can undo it. You know, the little lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. I can move it up. I can move it down. And y'all need to move it. Different people are going to use yours. I wish this was wood instead of cardboard, but, you know, like I said, you might like it, you might not. The bottom is adjustable too, but you need to hold on to it when you loosen it or it'll fall off on the floor, okay? But the whole idea with an easel is that one, now I can stand up, right? I can stand up at them, but, and I'm not that tall, this is as tall as it gets even on me. So they're really more designed for y'all to sit at. But the whole idea of why it's adjustable is, why do y'all think? Why are they adjustable? Right, different heights. But you're also trying to get, and if any of y'all take drafting, which y'all are hardly ever at the tables anymore, you work on CAD, but even drafting tables and sometimes they're on art tables, but like illustrators use tables that are tilted up. And same thing with these. Now this one's tilted more because the leg broke, but it's so that I can get it up in front of my face. Okay? You can draw better. Y'all think about when you're trying to draw something big. Didn't you have a problem when you're looking over the table? We need to get it up in front of our face. So this would have to go up, but if I'm sitting down just like this, and I'll use Hannah as an example, she's sitting down, it'd be hard to draw way down here, wouldn't it? At the bottom of the paper. It's way below your eyesight, but it's also, I say anything below your belly button is sort of hard to draw. You need to move it, all of it up, so you could draw towards the bottom, but then if I was drawing way up here at the top, I need to move it down, right? Now, some of y'all, and I can already tell, all I've done is put the piece of cardboard on your easel. There are a lot at different heights. I was just getting them fixed so that the cardboard would fit. You know, you're going to have to decide which direction I'm going to turn my paper. You might want to move the cardboard. I think they're all up and down right now. I also flipped them because people have written nasty stuff all over them. And that's why you don't have pencils, you don't have paper yet. But how do you get, you know, one, it's supposed to be that you're getting comfortable, right? Now, I had it tucked up to the chair. And I can then you see like Tyler's having to peek around looking at me around this cardboard. What am I supposed to be looking at the most? Anybody? That's right. At my still life. Over here I see lots of things. Do I really want to draw anything on the other side of the table? No. What else do I not want to draw? What do we always do with the stool? Did we draw the stool? No. So I don't want you to draw the table, don't want you to draw the tablecloth. You're just looking at the things that are on it. So this is called a still life. If I'm looking around the room, the Henri Matisse poster up top, that's also a still life. you know, it's got things sat in it that's just been put there to draw. If you see a lot of tablescape with plates and fruit and all that kind of stuff, they're called a still life. I could call the one next to it, the sunflowers, a still life, but the other one is out in nature. Everything up in the back of the room, none of those are still lifes either, and I wouldn't really classify anything over there on the poster of that either. So, you know, things set out purposely to draw or to paint, okay? In that, you're going to pick, and it's actually called a vignette or a montage, 2 or 3 little things together, okay? So a vignette is French, okay? But you're picking out, and even that, I could close an eye and sort of use a, you know, what would be a pleasing thing to draw on paper from what you see? One I would look at and go, well, what do I really want to draw? And I still don't, I wanted the hat hanging off more, but it has a hard time staying on there now. What do y'all think would be the hardest thing to draw on here?
Probably the plant.
And actually, the hardest thing to do is the fabric on those boxes. The big plants, not so easy either. So if the fabric is to cover up those boxes, which y'all have drawn before, which we're never drawing again, you know, with the little slats. But it's to lift things at different heights, really. So the fabric is to cover it. But the drape of the fabric is actually the hardest thing to do, okay? And that's, if you draw that on there, you know, I'll help you, but you also need to think, because it's brown, don't think you're just gonna scribble and color it all in or something. But I would say do that, the very last thing to do, okay? I think that's the hardest thing. Like I've got two of those hats are mine, and I can tell that I could still work some more on it. You know, this hat on this side is easier to draw than the hat over there on Cheyenne's side. Why y'all think so? You see them?
It doesn't have holes in the top.
It's also really flat. Like the brim of the hat is so flat that it's actually, because this one's so bent up in character and stuff, it's easier to draw. But it's all about the shadows and stuff from the light. Now, back to our easel. All right. So the thing is, getting comfortable. One, I did jam them up against the chair, and I've asked y'all to move them where you can see. But the whole thing is to get comfortable where I can, you know, I could sit. My legs aren't that long. Like I'm thinking Logan Dye, I think he wrapped his legs on either side. I don't know, his legs were so long, you know. But this is really too high for me. Can y'all tell? I'm sitting down, and if I put my hand out, I mean, I'm left-handed, so I can put it on the side. Y'all got the luxury of, you got plenty of room. You could spread out more. You know, somebody could sit here, which isn't a bad place to view it from. I was just trying to clear, you know, for the 5 people who aren't drawing on the easels, and I knew Chance was coming in here today. And, but third's going to get pretty crowded, okay? But in that, once I clip, and then I've got the clips, sometimes, you know, I want you to get your paper up out of this little trough, because there's pencil lead down in it. People have painted on it. Some people have used pastels. They get all over your paper. But you can clip your paper up to the top, and then sometimes when we use it, it's really hot, and I've got the air going, and it'll blow your paper off, a few people, okay? So you're clipping your paper to keep it in place. But so in that, look, I can move it down. I'm holding on to the bottom. This will just help keep it steady. You know, if I had a canvas, for sure, you know, it's really going to hold it in place. And that's why a lot of y'all have paint on the edge. Once I get it, but look how here's my eye level. My hand is out in front of me. And now I've really got it in front of my face. But once again, remember, you can't lean all over it. But if y'all remember, like when I've said before, sliding your hand on your little fatty of your pinky, or even here, I can sketch things in place, right? Then I can lay down my pencil and stuff. But since we're going to draw a little bigger, you know, we're going to use bigger paper. Now, not that I want books this big, but you can see there's several of the books down here at the bottom. One has no shadow. There's that perfect thing of it. Looks like it's floating on the paper without a shadow. These two have shadows, which is better. Here's 3 different things with the hat and stuff. You know, this one I still haven't finished. I could just keep on working on that fabric, okay? But there's some with the bar that's across the top, and then all these plants have been in there before. You know, here's the box and the cylinder and stuff too. So you can either, one, I don't have to stick my feet up under the easel. I could even sit off to the side and have it jam up to me, look, like this. Okay, don't think you have to, you know, have it right in front of your face. The thing is that you want it where you're, look, my hand, I'm left-handed, my hand is here. I can look at the still life. I can turn my body this way. I can get my legs out of the way, because they do get in the way. I could even, you know, stretch one out and pull it really close to me, right? Not that I want to lay all over it, but if I do my legs this way, this is as close as I can get. If my knees are in the way, so that's not bad, but my legs aren't long. You know, if y'all got long legs, it becomes a problem, okay? But I've even had to, sometimes, if I'm working on easel, I might even have to run it up and turn it upside down and work this way. However, I'm trying to get my hand, and I know I did that when I was working on this. I think I was up here in one of these leaves, and I was trying to get to it, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I came up and actually worked on it upside down or whatever, okay? But it was still better if y'all start drawing bigger. What would you do on a flat table? How would you get to the top of the paper? You know, so one, we're going to try it on the easel. And it's okay with me. I mean, at first it upset me that people didn't like them, but it's like it's so different than what y'all have done before. But it's like if you get used to it, you actually, because it gets stuff up in front of your face, okay? Does anybody have a question? Yes, ma'am? Yes. And this class, let's see, those of y'all who were here yesterday took the test, a little shape test, and then everybody else, I think we'll just wait till we get this done, because that'd be hard to take a test on the easel, or we'll see. Now, let's look at the still life, okay? You know, when all the pencils are out, y'all are just going to leave it. You can lay them up here on the top of it, leave your eraser tortilla for the people coming in behind you. What about the still life? You know, if from where I am, I might choose these 3 books and this plant. And I've simplified that other side because I found a new box I could sit that red thing on. The teapot over here really isn't at the right height. Maybe I fudge on that a little bit, okay? If I want to draw the rope, you know, it's more about the details of what's going on with it, okay? But I want y'all to look at everything except for the hats, because everything on this table almost is symmetrical, isn't it? Right? Candlestick, Tyler, on the other side when you see it, is it symmetrical? Except for one part.
Yeah.
What's the little part that's not? The handle, right? Other than that, he's got hopefully a straight candle. The handle, most man-made things are very symmetrical. So what would you draw last? The handle. I could get everything drawn, and then how I see the handle, how do I see into it, right? Same with the canister. I don't know what else to call it, like Shane, if you wanted to draw this. Isn't it just a big cylinder, but it's got a weird oval ellipse at the top, right? But I need to really work on which way do I need to turn my paper. You know, this is an old bed from an old twin bed, and I just like it to sort of separate it, and like a bunk bed that was a bottom and a top. I don't really want you to draw it like you see it at a weird angle, especially Tyler, don't you? I mean, it's coming right at you, which is sort of weird. You know, I'd say just leave it out, you know, if you're doing that, okay? What about the hat? Taylor, you're almost, you're like, if you want to draw the hat, might, you're almost looking right at the end of it, which is sort of weird, so you might wanna draw it from another side, okay? The lamp, is it symmetrical, Katie?
Besides that wire.
Yeah. And even that, if I drew it from right here, I don't see the handles symmetrically. I see one in the back, one in the front. But the whole body of it is, no matter where you are. So I would draw, and I mean, I've drawn it, I would draw the handles last. Right? Teapot, same thing if you choose to, Hannah. You know, it's an octagon, no, it's a hexagon. What, 8. It's an octagon. There's a little, ellipse at the top, but you're looking at it very straight on. There's a flat side too. And you see the handle and the spout very evenly, but if I'm drawing it from here, I don't. But I would draw the pot and then attach the handle and the spout last, okay? So even if you're drawing this spiky thing, I bought it just for this, it's fake, and I loved it, because it's not a lot of petals, it's this cool spiky thing. I don't have one up there, I should though, but, the pot is a hexagon, I think, okay? So in that, sort of look and see what you want. Tell me, like when I give you the paper, you can be looking at what you see. If I was drawing all this, I'd turn my paper sideways, long ways, okay? And the paper I'm going to give you is called manila paper. It is not as good a paper as I've been using, but I love the color of it. I love the way the pencil looks on it, but don't go crazy erasing on it. So, draw real lightly to start with. I'll be more than happy to help you set up what you're looking at. And like you're looking at 2 halves of 2 different things. I would choose. And some of y'all, if you see those books, they may not be at the most pleasing angle where you're sitting. And if I sit down and help you draw it, I'm going to draw it a little differently, the books, the way they lay out, than what you see. And, and the candle would be fine like it is too, okay? But my thought is, all today, all tomorrow, or Wednesday, whichever day Thursday, whichever day it is. And, you have a whole hour and a half the next day. So it should take you a good 2 days worth of drawing to do it, okay? And, but you don't have the easels too bad, but I like them. So everybody's going to have to get up and get pencils and erasers, and and you might even want a ruler if you're doing the books and stuff. But ask me, or if you want to move your easel, you can look over here, like where I am, and see if you want to move it. This isn't a bad spot. I was just trying to leave the room sort of open. I didn't miss anybody, did I? Unless you want to just they're going to have to set up stuff, but as far as introducing the lesson, that's probably it.